Hi folks, and welcome to Tree Stand Buddies Game On. I'm your host, Nate Cline. This week we're hunting both sides of the Ohio River for whitetails in West Virginia and Ohio. Get ready, because Tree Stand Buddies Game On starts right now.
Tree Stand Buddies Game On is brought to you by the Tree Stand Buddy, the tree stand hanging system that's coming to a tree near you. Wild Dale's Booner Builder, build your invisible food plot today. Extreme Sighting Solutions, let Extreme Sights be the solution to your sighting problems. High Country Archery, celebrating 30 years of archery excellence. Invite Team Extreme Food Plots, make them thrive 365. Bush in a Bag, your personal ground concealment system. True Fire Releases and Broadheads. Products more archers trust. Kicks Industries, Get on Target. And Walnut Grove, makers of the Booger. Products have been provided by these fine sponsors.
This year I'm on a mission. We're in Ohio. It's my brother-in-law Chris and myself teamed up together, and he has never killed a deer with his bow. So we started out the year switching back and forth, and I finally told him, Chris, you know what? You haven't killed one with your bow, we're going until you get one.
Well, I've hunted a bunch of years with my gun and never actually took up bow hunting too well until I started hunting with my brother-in-laws. And so I was on a mission to pick the right deer and have the right circumstance for me to shoot this. So being my first bow kill, I want it to be a good one.
Me and Jesse are having some fun out here in the woods in our bushes. We are coming to you live from a bush in a bag.
We're set up in a bush in a bag on the ground. It's hard enough to do it from a tree, but Chris and I are going to do it from the ground this year. From the ground? Looks like Jesse's breaking Chris in right.
We've had some does come in here behind us. Nothing out in front yet, but hopefully we should be seeing some action here real soon.
When we first got to this spot, it wasn't actually as perfect as we thought it was going to be. It was sort of, the deer could spot us very easily. It wasn't very thick. So Jesse had the idea, let's take the bush and bags off and actually set them up and use them as a sort of a blind.
The awesome thing about this bush in a bag, you can use it many different ways. You can hang it from your stand, you can wear it on your body, it's got sleeves in it. But the way Chris and I use it tonight is, we grabbed a couple sticks, staked them in the ground, and stretched that bush in a bag over in front of us. We took the bag off the bush in a bag, the head net part of it, and stuck it on our heads. So if you go around the front of the bush in a bag, all you see is Chris's eyeballs. He's got the bush and bag hat on, and we got the bush and bag laid out in front of us.
Hoping one walks out here real soon. That'd be nice.
A couple minutes goes by and we see some does coming up. So this was going to be like our start to see if this is actually going to work or if we're going to get busted, because these does were within 10 yards from where we were sitting.
I can't believe how close these does got to us. They had no idea we were there.
They didn't see us one bit. They were feeding, looking around, looked right through us basically.
We're sitting there, all of a sudden I feel a tap on my leg. And he taps a little faster. I look at Chris, he says, buck, buck, buck.
I thought I seen some antlers coming up over the hill, but I lost him. I tapped Jesse. Jesse's like a, I don't know, he's like an eagle in the sky. He can spot a deer a mile away. So I knew if I tapped him, he would find it, and that's exactly what he did.
Looks like Jesse and Chris found the right place in Ohio for Chris's first deer hunt. See if they can stay hidden in their bush in the bags after the break.
This is the Tree Stand Buddy, the easiest, safest way ever to hang your stand. With the receiver on the tree and the bracket on the stand, simply slide your stand into place. Attach the tree stand strap. You never carry your stand up the tree. Tree Stand Buddy works on virtually any hang-on stand. I put a receiver in every tree I hunt and take my stand with me.
It's that easy.
Learn more at treestandbuddy.com.
Take year-round management to the next level with Invite Extreme Wildlife Systems.
Invite Extreme Wildlife Systems has everything you need to attract more wildlife and grow bigger bucks.
Quality seed blends, liquid fertilizers, herbicide, highly nutritious minerals.
When you put your deer on the Invite system, you'll see the results.
Allows your property to hold more deer and better deer, as well as more wildlife in general. Use Invite's complete line and you won't regret it.
Make them thrive 365. Extreme Sighting Solutions is new this season with the Terminator. We use the strongest CNC machine aircraft grade aluminum available. We're bow hunters and we know exactly what your equipment goes through each season. Our sights are durable, lightweight, and bright. Our pins are looking at 24 inches of some of the brightest fiber optic material on the market today, giving you the visibility you need to make those tough shots count even in low light conditions. The new Terminator by Extreme Sighting Solutions just put one more advantage in your favor. Let Extreme Sights be the solution to all your sighting problems.
Wild Dale's Booner Builder is a new one-of-a-kind product that will help you keep and route deer where you want them. With as little as 2 applications, you can turn native wood browse into a more healthy and nutritious food source that deer crave. Not a sweet treat, mineral, fertilizer, or attractant, Booner Builder works within the plant itself to increase sugar production and total health of the plant, thus making it more desirable to wildlife. Now, for the first time, you can create browsing routes that lead directly to your stand without anyone else knowing about the honey hole you've secretly created. Bring that nocturnal buck you've been after right to your stand during daylight hours with Wild Dale's Booner Builder.
This portion of the show is brought to you by Wildlife Energy Drink. Energy for the great outdoors.
As the deer feeds a little closer to us, I told Chris, I said, this is a good buck, especially for your first deer. This is a great deer to take.
I caught another glimpse of it coming up over the hill, and as I seen it coming, I was like, this is it, it's on.
He gets closer and closer. All of a sudden, I see Chris draw his bow.
So once he said those 3 words, I'm on him, it was like Christmas morning to me. I was nervous, yeah, I'll admit I was nervous. It's my first time pulling back on an actual live deer, not a target, and I was nervous. This deer was 30 yards away, and I had a broadside shot, and I picked my spot.
I told Chris, go ahead and take it. I wasn't going to hold him up from taking his first deer with a bow.
In the back work. He stopped there. He said, I think he noticed something right there. That's my first buck with a bow. I can't believe it.
You think these two are pumped up to find Chris's first deer? We'll get our hands on some bone after this week's In the Scope.
Welcome to this week's In the Scope. I'm Jesse Cline. Today I'm going to take you start to finish on a tree stand buddy. This mounting system makes it so easy to put your lock-on tree stands up. The advantage of having it is you can take your lock-on, your comfiest lock-on, put the plate on the back of it. You got your mounting plate here. You can buy extra mounting plates. You can put them in any tree you want. All you got to do is carry one stand with you. The first thing you do when you get out in the woods, put your steps up, put your ratchet straps on, suck it down, cinch it tight to the tree. They got 4 holes in here for optional lag bolts for safety reasons if you want to have more stability than ratchet straps, but I'll tell you what, that ain't coming off of there. They got a loop in the bottom of it. What you do is you run your bow rope through the loop, tie your tree stand on, so you never have to carry your lock-on tree stand up the tree with you. Once you get your tree stand up, it's just as simple as sliding the bracket that's mounted on your stand down over the base plate that you got mounted on the tree. Once you get it locked in, it's nice and quiet, easy to use, you're ready to go. You put your manufacturer strap around the tree, you're set. You got less than a minute setting everything up and you're ready to hunt. It's got a gap between the tree and your seat, so it gives you extra room. When you're sitting up there in the stand, you know how your seat's always back against the tree? You don't have that with a tree stand buddy. You got extra room out there, gives you plenty of room to move around, to lean back, be comfortable. That's this week's In the Scope. I'm Jesse. See you next time.
Go to treestandbuddy.com and pick up your starter kit or your extra brackets or the official ratchet straps of the Tree Stand Buddy. Now, let's go find Chris's first deer with a bow.
Nobody could put a price on something like that, and the way I feel comes out, especially when I put a nice deer down, and that's exactly what it did. Jesse will laugh at me, everybody will laugh at me, but
Chris is famous. Woo! You about beat me to death on the ground there.
yeah, I was beating him and everything. I mean, I get a little bit out of hand, but hey, that's what you watch the show for. You want to see the realness, you want to see the raw footage, and that's exactly what it was. I mean, the camera might have been a little shaky at that time, but that's because he was getting beat on.
He is down.
Yes. That's a good buck, Jess. That's a good man. Look at that. Nice rack on that bad boy. Well, you know, growing up, me and my dad, we did a lot of gun hunting. Never really got into bow hunting. But since my brother-in-law Jesse, me and him started hunting together a lot, he got me into bow hunting. And this actually is my first year that I actually took the sport up and really did it right. Last year I was bow hunting and couldn't really connect on one, but this year I really tried my hardest to get out here as much as possible. And it's just an adrenaline rush. It's a lot different than gun hunting, sitting in the stand in the cold. It's nice to get out here early season, kill a nice big buck like this. And with a bow, you're up close and personal. You know, if you're going to take good shots, you're going to take them 20 to 30 yards away, and that deer is like right in your face. And that's something that I never felt before, being up in a tree stand, you know, shooting deer 50, 60 yards away. So this is definitely exciting, and I tell you what, you get hooked on your first bow kill, and I tell you what, I'm hooked.
It's such an enjoyable moment to be there with somebody to take their first deer, to take any deer for that matter. And I'm just happy I was there with him.
Congratulations, Chris, on your first deer with a bow. But hey, we're not done yet. Chris is going to pick up the camera, go across the river to West Virginia, and film his good friend Joe Birmingham when we come back.
Hunters, are you sick of dropping your gear from your tree stand, then having to climb back down to get it? Walnut Grove has solved an old problem with a new idea, the booger. You may be fooled by its looks, but you'll be amazed by its abilities. If you drop it, this little booger will get it. The Booger by Walnut Grove Hunting Products. Proudly made in the USA.
This portion of the show is brought to you by Game On Game Calls and the Green Thunder.
Well, I hunt with a good friend of mine, and he's actually just started on our pro staff. I introduced him to my brother-in-laws and everything, and he actually is an excellent hunter, and he's out there all the time filming and hunting and stuff, and his name's Joe Birmingham.
I had one deer in mind that I wanted to try to challenge myself and pattern and see if I can connect on this one deer. And I told Chris about him. I had a bunch of pictures of him. Actually had some pictures of him 20 minutes before we even got there.
Hey Joe, I like that big camera. I like it. Professional. 212 pictures in the last 24 hours. Those deer were here 15 minutes before we got here.
The deer on the Ohio side and West Virginia side are a bit different.
The gene pool just isn't what it is in Ohio. I just started hunting Ohio last year for the first time, and it's making it a little bit tougher to sit out my place when you're going out in the woods, and when the rut's on, you're seeing 130s, 140s, and above running around all over the place.
You'll find a lot larger deer on the Ohio side and a lot bigger size deer on the Ohio side. And you go right across the river and they're totally different.
Some scientists believe that there are up to 30 to 40 different whitetail species just in the United States. Now, if you live as close to the Ohio River as we do, you can clearly see a difference between the bucks in West Virginia and the bucks in Ohio.
Not taking anything away from the West Virginia deer, but it's just it's like two different genes. Ohio, typically you see in Ohio, they got more mass, longer tines. West Virginia, they just, I don't know what it is. They just don't grow them as big as we do here in Ohio.
If you see a 120 in West Virginia, especially up in the northern panhandle, that's considered a pretty good trophy over there. We just don't have the food over there. We don't have the genetics, and with the real liberal seasons, with being allowed to take 3 bucks a year, I think a lot of these deer aren't able to grow to a mature age.
It's time for this week's Power Play Moment, brought to you by Booner Builder. Welcome to this week's Booner Builder Power Play Moment of the Week. While Dale and I are going through what I call Dale's toy box. It's the starter kit for Booner Builder to get you started. Well, if you've never tried the product, this box has everything you need to get yourself started with Booner Builder. Dale, let's go through yours. You've got it open there. And the first thing you're going to see when you get in there is you're going to see Wild Dale. So you're always going to have Dale by your side to teach you what's going on.
Whoa.
Whether you want him or not, he's going to be there with you. And then we've got Booner Builder ready to go.
Yeah. Pull off the cap. Maybe.
Pull the cap off, get it assembled. One of the other things that's pretty cool about this starter kit is it comes with a playbook. And if you open the playbook, it's going to walk you right through what Booner Builder is, what it does, how it's going to help you, and it's got a section in the back where you can actually take some notes and keep your records for what's going on your property. While Dale tries to figure out how to put a nozzle on a bottle of Booner Builder,
Thanks.
We've also got trail markers so you can remember where you've sprayed. Put the trail markers along the trail. That'll get you all set up. We've got an instructional DVD. This segment here is just a couple minutes long, but the DVD is going to walk you through step by step. Dale and I are on it. A few of our friends are on it with us. We're going to show you what Booner Builder is, how we've used it, and how you can use it on your own property. People are having success, Dale. They're understanding that Booner Builder is working, and it's simple. Explain it. Explain it in the simplest terms as you can.
Simplest terms as I can. It actually brings the plant up to what the deer's actually searching for. Brings that quality up to it. It changes the health of that plant, so it's changing the fragrance and the pheromones that the plant produces itself, stating that plant's health to the deer senses.
Not our senses. We can't tell.
The deer senses. It'll actually draw them to it because of their senses and because of the health of the plant.
He said it's going to draw them to it. That's the #1 goal for me as a hunter. I want something that's going to draw deer into where I'm going to hunt, and Booner Builder is doing that. You build browse routes, you put them straight under your tree stand, you can build invisible food plots on public land, on private land. I haven't found a state yet that Booner Builder you can't use. Some states you can't use bait, sweet treats. This is none of those. This is a plant enabler, a plant enhancer.
Yeah, it's actually a plant acting antioxidant, which actually gets in there and straightens up the cellular structure of that plant, as well as the water pipes and the systemics, and it's the first and only product of its kind like it.
Go to boonerbuilder.com, pick up your starter kit. It'll have everything you need to get started. Then once you get it and see the results, you're going to want to come back and get the bigger bottles like we've showed you before, and you're going to put it in more places. It's going to do it for this week's Power Play Moment with Wild Dale. We'll see you next time.
The buck that I picked out on my property this year, like I said, he seemed to be the oldest buck out of the 3 nicer 8 points. I actually passed on 2 bucks that were bigger than him, but they looked to be only about 2.5 years old. This deer was clearly, he was an older deer. He was one of the most mature ones I had running around out there.
Joe's been watching this deer. He's been watching deer on his property every day. He gets out there weeks before hunting season starts, and this was his mature deer that he had on the property that he wanted to kill.
Hunting one specific buck is by far my favorite way to hunt deer, and Joe's got one picked out. But with West Virginia season coming in October 15th, it makes it tough to get a buck on that early season pattern. We'll see if Joe's scouting pays off in a moment.
This is the Tree Stand Buddy, the easiest, safest way ever to hang your stand. With the receiver on the tree and the bracket on the stand, simply slide your stand into place. Attach the tree stand strap. You never carry your stand up the tree. Tree Stand Buddy works on virtually any hang-on stand. I put a receiver in every tree I hunt and take my stand with me.
It's that easy.
Learn more at treestandbuddy.com.
This is the last day of a 4-day hunt. We saw a giant here last night. Here he comes. You on him? Wait, your blade's out. What? The blade popped off the dang O-ring again.
Make the switch to a mechanical broadhead you can count on. The TrueFire Switchblade. Blades are easily reset. No O-rings. Guaranteed not to pre-open in flight.
Man, I'm making the switch.
The TrueFire Switchblade.
This portion of the show has been brought to you by Tree Stand Buddy. Find us at treestandbuddy.com.
We were set up on an evening hunt. This was early season. I think it was in around the first week of the season.
We're watching, he has a bait pile out, and he has the corn out, and the does and the raccoons, he said's been eating into it. We've seen a ton of does come into it. So we're just sitting there watching, and before long, we've seen a couple bucks come in.
When I saw the 4-point come in, I told Chris, get the camera ready. A lot of times this deer's following. The 4-point came and he walked through, and about maybe 5 minutes behind him, here come that 8-point.
It's real thick brush and everything. So I'm trying to find this deer, and I see him, and eventually I get on him. And when I get on him, I stayed on the whole time, and this deer came right into us.
I had a very small hole to shoot through. If he would have kept going where the 4-point went, it would have been wide open shot. But he stopped about 10 yards short of what I wanted him to.
And he stopped, and he's sitting there watching that bait pile. And you can hear it on the camera. I keep telling Joe, I'm on him, I'm on him, I'm on him. And I'm wondering, the broadside shot, why isn't Joe taking the shot?
I saw that he started getting real nervous. He knew something wasn't right. So I had a little hole to shoot through. It was maybe a little bit bigger than the size of a softball, but I knew, I felt comfortable making the shot. So settled the pin on him, hit the release. After I made the shot, I knew it was a good shot on him.
Beautiful shot. Right, lunged him. It was a perfect shot.
And we heard him crash. It sounded like a bulldozer running through the woods. We heard him pile up about 75 yards away or so. And I knew right in the general area that he went.
I think I hit him perfect. There's a hole about this big. He looked like he was getting nervous. I wanted him to take another step, but I was able to get down and shoot right through that hole. I had a hole. It's about that big. That's all you need in arrows, any this big. That's a good deer. Yeah, I don't think that deer went far. Is. I don't think he's the one I was looking for. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8-point. Hit him good. I got him right in the lungs. It's a good West Virginia deer. Seems like he's an older deer. We had a lot of action today. Probably about an hour before he came in, we started seeing deer. They started moving. Started off some does and some young bucks came in. And like I said, I've seen him on trail camera a lot of times. Right after I see there's this little young 4-point running around, right after that he usually shows up. And I told Chris, I said, about that. And 10 minutes later, here he come walking in, and put a good shot on him. He went about 100 yards.
After we got up the deer, I felt a big sense of accomplishment. Being able to key in on one deer and try to hunt that specific deer only. And I felt like it's good practice for, I'm going, starting to hunt Ohio a lot more now. And if I find that big one in Ohio, I think some of the skills that I learned trying to hunt that deer will help me over there too.
It was an honor, and it was awesome to see him take a nice West Virginia deer and how pumped up he got was unbelievable.
Now that's what hunting one deer is all about. You come up with a plan and you make it happen. Hey, make it happen by going to Invite's Facebook page and post "I want my Invite food plot" on their wall. The boys from Invite will pick a winner each week and send that winner a free food plot. That's going to do it for this week's show. We'll see you right back here next time on Tree Stand Buddies. Game on.
Tree Stand Buddies Game On has been brought to you by Tree Stand Buddy at treestandbuddy.com. Wild Dale's Booner Builder at boonerbuilder.com. Extreme Sighting Solutions at extremesights.com. High Country Archery at highcountryarchery.com. Invite Team Extreme Food Plots at invitefpf.com. Bush in a Bag at bushnabag.com. TrueFire releases and broadheads at truefire.com. Kicks Industries at kicks-ind.com. Game On Game Calls at outdoorinsightstv.com. And Walnut Grove at walnutgrovehunting.com. Products have been provided by these fine sponsors. Tree Stand Buddies Game On has been an Outdoor Insights television production. Find us online at outdoorinsightstv.com or on Facebook and Twitter.
Hey, Chris. Don't look like a bush.
These guys are dressed like bushes. They're bushes.
It is a memory I'll keep forever.
Because you filmed it. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. All of this, ridiculous.